a lot of our team actually is in Germany this week for Gamescom. A lot of you guys have probably been following a lot of the game announcements at Gamescom. There's a lot of cool stuff that's been announced. We're going to look at some of that a little bit later, but we also announced a bunch of new gaming hardware at Gamescom. You guys can go check out the full event or the highlight reel on our YouTube channel or our Twitch channel, but I figured today we could just chill, hang out, talk about some of the stuff that's new. I saw some questions kind of in Discord over the past few days, so if you guys have questions about the new products, you can shoot them our way as we're talking about them. We'll do our best to answer them. I don't have answers to everything, but just in terms of like, hey, how does this product fit into the lineup here? Is it higher or lower tier than this? Like, where does it have this feature? We can answer kind of some of that stuff too. By the way, the carousel is running today. I'm pretty proud of myself. It's actually moving like it's supposed to. And so you will see the ROG Elite code for today pop up there. You can head on over to the ROG Elite site, pop in today's code, and get some points toward cool stuff. What's up, Nurupogza? I never know how to pronounce people's usernames. I'm very bad at
Nurupoga, yeah. That one's hard.
Pronunciations. So, should we start with motherboards?
Heck yeah.
All right, this is a big one, obviously, because Ryzen 9000 is here, and we've got new motherboards to go with all of the new chips, right? So these are our X870 and X870E boards. These boards come with a lot of upgrades, and we'll probably do a full episode of ROG Pulse that digs into these motherboards a little bit more. But also, I would recommend, if you guys are looking at new motherboards, go check out our Asus North America YouTube channel. Our colleague JJ over there does live streams, and he's going to get hands-on with these motherboards and probably go a little bit more in depth on some of his streams than we will. So if you're interested in X870, you're definitely going to want to subscribe to Asus North America and go check those out. But yeah, so lots of new stuff. The X870E boards, which are a little bit more feature-rich than the regular X870 boards. The X870E boards support DDR5, PCIe 5.0 for next-gen graphics cards, super fast SSDs. The X870E also has 2 onboard USB 4 ports, which is really cool, and lots of overclocking features. So you've got our AI overclocking, which has been on plenty of our boards for the past few generations, but you've got that on all of these. You also have some stuff that we released last generation, the Dynamic OC Switcher and Core Flex, which gives you a little bit more flexibility in overclocking some of those Ryzen processors. Those are features that I definitely recommend looking into. Not going to go into super detail on them today, but we did detail them in I think we did an overclocking stream like a year or two ago with some Ryzen chips, and we kind of detailed some of those features, I think. But these boards also then have our AI cooling 2 and AI networking 2 also, which will automatically kind of optimize your cooling and networking for you. Huzaki-san, when will these motherboards be available? So for all the products we're going to talk about today, I do not have release dates or prices just yet. This is kind of how it works when we release stuff. Usually we announce it, and then as stuff gets shipped out to all of the local offices, those local offices will kind of either have set release dates, but they'll have to send them out to the retailers in the area, and so it takes a little bit of time to get all of that rolling. And then you'll see prices start to pop up for your regions, because prices vary from region to region, and you'll see availability start to pop up at retailers and on the Asus site. So if you head to the Asus site, you should see some of these product pages start to pop up. Depending on your region, you may even be able to sign up for notifications. Not sure about that, can't speak to every region, but that's where I would go look. So another cool thing about these boards, 2 of our X870E boards have a new DRAM slot design that we call NitroPath, which reduces noise interference and a few other things for better performance, and gives you more headroom for overclocking your memory, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a pic of the DRAM slot. Plus, all of our ROG boards on this new chipset feature Wi-Fi 7. So if you have a compatible router, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a bit, then you can get the faster speeds and less congestion that Wi-Fi 7 offers. Plus, all of these boards also offer a lot of our easy PC DIY features, including some upgraded ones. So we have a new Q slide mechanism for those M.2 slots. So if you have a drive that is not the full like 2280 or something like that, there's a little slider that you can move to kind of clamp a different size drive in, which is really cool. And there's also a Q release heatsink for those M.2 drives as well. So we had the old Q release latch, so you don't have to use those little screws. Now you can do that with the heatsink as well. This is really cool. I want to show this off. I'm gonna pull up this video. Let me see if this works. This is one of the coolest things I've seen. I kind of want to try it out in person. We've got also a new Q release system for the graphics card. You no longer even have to press a button. You just pull it out. It just automatically unlatches itself if you pull it out from the from the IO side. So you kind of hold down the motherboard and just out it goes. A couple generations ago, we introduced like a button that pops it out for you, which was already a huge upgrade over like the old latches. And now you don't even need to do that, which is so freaking cool. I love that. I love how much work our engineering and design team has put into the easy PC DIY stuff. Because
100%. I love my Formula motherboard. It's great, but when I have to get in and do stuff like exactly what you're describing, it's a pain in the butt. So yeah, I got some serious motherboard envy just for those features.
Yeah, it's like after years of building PCs and having to rebuild them for articles and stuff like that all the time, like some of those, like the PCIe latch for graphics cards is really just the bane of my existence. I actually have a chopstick in my drawer that I use to like poke the latch to get it out. That's it's my dedicated GPU chopstick. And when I upgrade my board, I'll never have to do that again. And the M.2 thing is really nice too. I can't tell you, I have lost, I think 2 M.2 screws inside my power supply because my power supply is top mounted with the fan like facing up. And like I'll try to unscrew an M.2 slot to upgrade the drive or swap out a drive, and it will fall through the grill and into my power supply. And then I'm like, I don't want to turn on the power supply with like a rogue screw flying around in there. So then I'm just like kind of trying to shake it out, and it's.
I was gonna say, I'm sure that's not a risk for safe power delivery.
It's not great. So the Q release for the SSD like might be one of my favorite things that we've ever added.
It's ingenious.
Yep. So we have a number of different boards. I think I showed a few of them here. We've got the ROG Crosshair board, obviously, but we also have 4 new ROG Strix boards, including a mini ITX one for you small form factor enthusiasts, plus offerings from Tough Gaming, ProArt, Asus Prime, some of our other brands as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in the chat. There's also a link in the video description that talks about all the stuff we announced at Gamescom. It's got a little bit about motherboards, and within that, there is a link to this guide that I'm popping in chat right now. That is kind of a more in-depth motherboard guide. Eric, our colleague, did a ton of work on producing some motherboard content for you guys, so that if you are trying to research the new X870 boards, you can kind of get all of the details you need. Not just a complete rundown of every board that we're releasing, but then also separate articles on all of these new features, like that Nitro Path DRAM slot, among other things. So all that should be linked in this guide. Like this guide should be your one-stop shop for everything. So if you are looking at new motherboards, check out that guide. He put a lot of work into it, and it is really, really good, really, really. Now, if you do have a new motherboard, I also recommend you get this new cooler to go with it. Ooh. I'm
sad. Big screen.
I know it is. I'm sad we don't have a picture of it with the screen on. Not that the picture would really do it justice, because this is our ROG Ryujin 3 360 ARGB Extreme. So we announced the Ryujin 3 a while back, but this is the Extreme version. That is basically an evolution of the Ryujin 9. So it has an upgraded Asetek Emma Gen 8 V2 pump, right? So you get better cooling performance from that. But the screen has also been upgraded as well. So this is it's a CPU cooler with a little 3.5 inch screen. It's got a 640 by 480 resolution, which sounds low, but it's a 3.5 inch screen, so it's actually very sharp.
I did the math. It's double or triple the density of 4K, 27 inches.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Holy
it's like 330 pixels per inch instead of like 167. So it's like double-ish.
See, it's all about pixels per inch, guys. So that's a really, really sharp image. And then it also has a 60 hertz refresh rate. So the idea with this is that this is kind of the centerpiece of your build, right? You could put some really cool animation on it. Lane, I don't know if you saw the one we had at like CES. It was this white tough gaming build, and on the Ryujin cooler, it had this animation of like a white mech, like a Gundam type thing, like swinging its sword. Dude, it was sick. Or what I do, so I actually have the Ryujin 2 on my machine back there, and I put like system stats on it, like temperatures or whatever, and then I can see them from my couch, which is really useful for a living room style PC. All kinds of cool uses for this. I love it, and now I want this one. So thanks, guys, for making something else that I'm gonna have to go spend my money on. All right, I haven't been watching chat. We've got some questions in chat. When will the ROG Delta 2 be available on Amazon? That is a good question. It should be soon. I'm told that product should be on shelf. I don't have a date, but I'm told that it's coming very soon. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know if it's going to be on Amazon though. So the thing is, we have different retail partners for different products, and sometimes that just depends on how things sell. Like, is the Delta 2 out yet? Is it on shelf yet at all in the US? I'm not sure. I'm checking for you right now. I don't see it yet in the US. So yeah, keep an eye out. I don't know if that's gonna be one that's available on Amazon or not, or if it's gonna just be through Newegg or the Asus store, or whatever. Like, I just can't. I don't always know those things ahead of time until they pop up. So. EG27 AQDP pre-orders. I don't believe we have a pre-order in the US. I think it's just going to go on shelf and then you're going to be able to buy it. I believe. Don't quote me on that though. I have the ROG Cetra Speed Nova. Can I use the same dongle for the keyboard or with the new motherboards? I don't even need the dongle. I'm not sure I understand your question. The ROG Cetra Speed Nova dongle will not work with other products. It's not like we have an ROG Omni receiver, which is a USB receiver that works with certain keyboards and mice. Like, you can connect a mouse and a keyboard to the same machine with one dongle. The Speed Novas do not use that, if that's what you're asking. I'm not sure I understand that. You may have to clarify your question. All right. Check. Okay. Cool. Just scrolling down here. Thanks for making the new Carnix microphone, but why didn't you make an arm on a table clamp for it? We didn't make an arm, but we did make it compatible with arms. So, it's one of those things where, like, it's our first microphone. When you come out with a product like that, you don't want to necessarily make a ton of accessories, because then you're spending a lot of money on producing other stuff that, if you don't know if a product is going to be successful, making a ton of other stuff for it isn't always like the best decision. So we just made our first monitor arm like recently. Right?
Yeah, very recently. We've been doing monitors forever.
Yeah. So, like, it's sometimes with accessories like that, you just kind of see. I don't know what we have planned for the future, but who knows? But I do like that the Carnix is threaded like a normal microphone, so that if you don't want to use the stand that it comes with, you can attach it to an arm, kind of like I'm doing here. So I don't actually use an arm. I use just a larger stand, so that when I'm not streaming, I can kind of put it away and it's not taking up space in my office. But so I actually do use that feature on the Carnix. Really nice that you can unscrew that and then thread it into whatever stand you want, because every setup is different. So, okay. So moving on to peripherals. I'm excited about this, and I know a lot of you guys are too. We have a few different lines of keyboards. We actually announced 2 at Gamescom. But Lane, you and I kind of fall on different ends of the keyboard spectrum, right?
Very different, yes.
Because I like compact keyboards. I really like the ROG Azoth line is my favorite, but then the ROG Falchion line is my second favorite, especially because I like to bring my mechanical keyboard with me on vacation when I work, or like bring it to Taiwan with me when we go to the office. And the Falchion has always been our super compact, travel-friendly board. We have a regular version. We have a slim version that we announced at CES. And now, because you guys asked for it, we have a Hall effect switch version. The Falchion Ace HFX uses analog magnetic switches. So for those of you that aren't familiar, this is a different kind of switch that, because it uses magnets in the switch, you can actually customize the actuation point. The actuation point is the point at which the key press registers. So on a typical mechanical keyboard, if you have 4 millimeters of travel, the key will register usually about 2 millimeters down. Sometimes it's a little bit higher for certain gaming keyboards, so you can kind of get that faster actuation when you're gaming. But the cool thing about Hall effect is that you can customize exactly where that actuation point lies, and then even adjust it for different tasks, right? So you can do this in the software, or if you want the fastest possible mode, you can toggle on a couple things we call rapid trigger and speed tap mode, which will make it just the shortest possible actuation and key repeat for first-person shooters, and then you could pop it back to a different mode when you're typing, for example. So that's really cool. And I
That
know a
actually
lot
is
of
really
people
cool.
have been waiting for this for a long time. I still have not tried an analog keyboard myself. I don't know if you have.
Mm-mm.
There are a few out there, but I want to try this one. I'm very excited. It also has an 8,000 hertz polling rate to match, so the delay is like 0.125 milliseconds. Like it's
So
crazy fast.
it's just a gaming keyboard.
It's
Pro
this is like
show.
ultimate gaming keyboard, and because it's compact, you have a lot of room for your mouse hand on the right hand side, which is why I like compact keyboards. To me, that is an important gaming feature, as long as you don't need like a number pad, which we'll talk about in 1 second. The last thing I want to mention is this: that we didn't skimp on the typing feel either. The new switches are designed with a very solid typing feel in mind, but we also added 5 layers of dampening and a silicone gasket mount to absorb pinging noises, not unlike like our high-end ROG Azoth Extreme keyboard, which we'll be looking at in a couple weeks. So I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. Nuclear Phosphate says, yeah, I can't not have a number pad. Well, Lane is just like you, aren't you?
Yes, 100%.
So for you guys, we have this. The ROG Strix Scope 296 RX Wireless. So Lane,
Because the original name wasn't long enough.
you have the original version of this keyboard, right? Because you are a
Yes.
number pad guy.
Yes, I'm a number pad aficionado. My keyboard feels weird. I feel naked. I feel like I'm driving with half of the steering wheel. Like I've got a yoke. It's very odd. So this is perfect though because it has not all. I won't say all. It has 96% of the keys of a standard keyboard, but it's about a 65-inch size. So it's very similar to the Falchion and the Azoth.
Yeah, it's not quite as small as the Falchion, maybe, but so like back when the world started shrinking keyboards, right?
I'd have to measure it, but yeah, it's much smaller than my previous one, which was a Logitech full-size keyboard, 100%.
So back when we started kind of shrinking keyboards, one of the most popular layouts was 10 keyless, which was basically just removing the number pad. And you still have that row that's like home and insert, like all of those kind of middle keys. And I never use any of those keys. I just remap them to other stuff, like putting my computer to sleep and things like that. But what they did with the Scope 96, which I thought was really cool, is that instead of taking out the number pad and leaving this row of keys that a lot of people don't even use, they took out that middle row of keys that a lot of people don't use and then just scooched the number pad over so that the keyboard is still really compact, but it keeps the stuff that number pad aficionados like desperately need. So the difference, sorry, you were going to say?
Well, I was reading a question from chat saying, did I get used to it quickly? Yeah, the only thing that was hard was the arrow placement is a little weird because of what they had to do to make room for the number pad and whatnot.
Yeah.
But once I got used to that, then you're good to go.
Yeah. You just got to get used to moving your hand like just down a little bit. So Lane has the Strix Scope 296 wireless. That's a keyboard that uses our standard NX switches. Those are kind of the regular cross stem, red, blue, brown switches that you're used to, right, from a lot of other keyboards. This is the same board, but this uses our ROG RX optical switches. So if you want a more traditional switch, you can go with Lane's version of the board. But this new one has a few advantages. So the RX switches, first of all, they use a laser to detect each key's actuation instead of like, something like an actual electrical connection. So that not only gives you faster response because it's just a ray of light that's being broken, but also like near zero debounce delay, fewer physical parts rubbing up against each other, so you kind of have less wear and tear. Not that really matters for mechanical keyboards because switches last so long. The other cool thing about the RX switches is that it's a 4-post switch. And then the LED is in the middle of the switch. So the LED shines through the middle of the keycap, giving you this really nice, like, even lighting that looks really cool instead of having the light shine at the top of the switch. So I kind of like that. It's just like if you like an RGB keyboard, it's a really cool look. So some advantages to the RX optical switches there. This keyboard has tri-mode connectivity, so you can connect it over Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz speed Nova wireless through that ROG Omni USB receiver I mentioned earlier, or you can connect it with wired USB, which is what Lane does because he's Lane like that.
I have a battery in the keyboard, and I would never know it. It's wired at this point.
I'm kidding. I basically use mine wired too.
nuclear phosphate. I had a G910, which I think is about the same size. It might have one extra row of G keys, and I think I got like 4 or 5 inches extra for mousing. So something in that ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you look up, so this keyboard should already be not, if this keyboard's not live on our site, the other one is. So look up the Strict Scope 296 wireless. And there should be dimensions on the product page, and you can compare that to whatever keyboard you have to kind of see how much bigger or smaller it is. But I think it's like fairly similar to a 10 keyless keyboard, maybe just a bit larger, but like one keycap larger. It's still gonna be much smaller than a full size keyboard. So I would check that out. Can I go to Taiwan to buy the new motherboards? I don't think they're selling them in Taiwan yet. And you know, you're not allowed to steal them from our office. That's against the law, so unfortunately. But soon. All right.
Not allowed to steal them, yes. Generally not.
Theft is also illegal in Taiwan. All right, the Harp Ace Mini. I know some people have been asking about this. Our Harp Ace mice, they're esports mice, right? They're designed in collaboration with esports pros, designed for esports enthusiasts. Super lightweight. The Harp is ambidextrous, so left-handers. There you go. Are you left-handed, Lane?
I'm not. I'm right-handed.
You seem like you'd be a left-hander. I'll let you noodle what you think that means. So the ROG Harp Ace Mini is the newest addition to the family, right? And like its name suggests, it is a smaller version of the Harp Ace, designed to accommodate different hand shapes, grip types, things like that. So if regular mice feel a little bit big in your hands, this would be a good option, and it travels a little bit easier too.
Yeah. Fair.
49 grams. Really light, really lightweight. And it's got our ROG Aimpoint Pro optical sensor, so it's like 42,000 DPI. The other thing I like about this, which kind of lends itself to being not just an esports mouse where you're going to tournaments and stuff, but also a nice travel size mouse, is that it has onboard controls. So you can store all of your favorite settings on the mouse and then enable them with a push of a button without having to install that software on other PCs, which is cool. And of course, it has tri-mode connectivity as well, just like everything else we seem to release these days, which I love. Again, making it a good. So if you're bringing it, like, I would never game with Bluetooth. Just putting that out there. Bluetooth has a little bit of a delay, and I would not do any serious gaming with like a mouse or keyboard over Bluetooth. But what's nice about that is that if you're traveling with it, so like I mentioned, I like to bring that Falchion with me to Taiwan, or you want to bring this mouse with you, not for gaming, just for like regular, work or whatever on a laptop, you can just connect it to any laptop with Bluetooth. You don't have to worry about bringing the dongle or losing the dongle while you're traveling, which I have done before. You can just connect it over Bluetooth to any machine that has Bluetooth built in. So it's a nice to have thing in scenarios like that.
For sure.
All right. Oh, there's the white Harp Ace Mini. I forgot I had a second picture of it. It's a small boy. Look how small it is next to the ROG Falchion. That you put that next to the Falchion Slim, you've got a really compact little battle station there.
And the Moonlight White is chef's kiss.
Dude, I've totally been converted to the whole Moonlight White ecosystem. I had like my white G14 and like a white keyboard, and I had my white Ally and my white earbuds. I'm a total convert now. And now the Ally's black. And it messed up my whole aesthetic. Waiting for
it's hard. My whole setup's black, so the white would stand out, but I love the pictures of them.
Yeah, they look real good. All right, next one is the ROG Pelta headset, not to be confused with the ROG Delta headset that I'm wearing. I'm excited about this one. So I saw a couple questions about what this is and how it fits into our headset lineup. If you guys remember at Computex, we announced the ROG Delta 2. That's the one that I'm wearing. This is our newest headset. We did an episode about it a few weeks back, so you can go check it out. This is our new, like, kind of premium top-end headset. It's got all the bells and whistles, right? The ROG Pelta takes the most essential of those features and packs them into a lightweight body that I believe is supposed to be targeted at being a bit more affordable, right? So sound quality. It still targets the same Harman curve as this. Really balanced sound signature, better than most gaming headsets you're going to find out there. It sounds really nice. And it's got that 10 millimeter capsule in the boom microphone, which I'm not wearing on my headset right now, but Actually, it's funny. I did an episode of Pulse with this when I was in Michigan a few weeks back. Dude, it sounded really good compared to a normal headset microphone. Like, this is a legit upgrade in terms of mic quality. So it's got that as well. And what's cool, what I think is really special about this is that it also has tri-mode connectivity. Now, that may not sound that special because I've brought it up on like literally every product on this list, but that's not something that you usually find in a headset kind of in this price bracket. And I don't have a price yet, but you'll just have to trust me here, is that the way that this was sold to me was like, hey, tri-mode connectivity, not usually in all, it's, you know, in all just the kind of the top end stuff. We're bringing it to this as well. So wired, Bluetooth, and 2.4 gigahertz wireless, which is nice because, again, you get that flexibility. And it's only 309 grams, which is pretty light for a headset. They didn't mention this to me, but I'm looking at the picture, and that is using an auto-adjusting headband. So this one has like the normal kind of, you adjust it manually. I really like those auto-adjusting headbands. You kind of just like put it on your head, and it just kind of slides into place. Super comfortable. Have you ever used a headset with that kind of a headband?
I don't think so.
It's kind of a game changer. I love it. I haven't used this one in particular, but I think people are going to dig it. So, and with the lightweight stuff, it's going to be really comfortable. It's got these really nice fabric ear pads. I think this is going to be a really nice headset.
Yeah, I mean, like the Delta 2 that you're wearing, the Animate that I'm wearing, they're already comfortable as is. So if you take a little bit of weight off, then yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right, exactly. And the Animate, yeah, I think it's going to be really, really nice headset once people get their hands on it. You said station. What about wireless charging of a gaming mouse and headset? We don't have anything like that yet, but that would be cool. I do love me some wireless charging.
You'd have to have huge copper coils just in your wall, just like radiating electricity.
I would if I could, man. Okay, so actually, crazy story though. I have actually built wireless chargers into different pieces of furniture in my house because I don't like having those little circular pads sitting around. So I like when it's built into stuff. So we do have a headset stand. Gosh, what's the name of it? I can't remember. The Throne. The ROG Throne Chi. I'm going to pop this in chat just because you guys brought it up. This is a headset stand that doesn't charge your headset wirelessly, but the base of the headset stand can charge your phone wirelessly. So again, you don't have to get like this weird little circle pad that just like takes up space on your desk. I love when wireless chargers are built into other stuff. I have one that's built into a picture frame. So there's just a picture frame and you put your phone like in the frame and it'll charge. But then what I did is I bought some of those circle pads and I have an end table behind me. I don't think you guys can quite see it. Hold on, if I move my mic out of the way, you guys can see it. So see that little end table there? There's a wireless charger just in the circle. Like I just put my phone on the top of the table and it will charge. Because I basically like carved out the bottom of the table
and then glued it in on the bottom.
I did that to my nightstand as well. So my nightstand, I just put like a little sticker. So this has got like a little Space Invaders like pixel art sticker where like the center of the phone goes. So I can just plop it on or plop it on my nightstand and my phone just charges.
That's pretty cool.
It was a lot of work, but it was really cool. I actually did an article on how to do that. This was before I worked here. Wireless charger table. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Here you guys go. Here's my article on how I built it. That's not an official ROG article. That's just me wanting to like pimp the cool project that I did.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool DIY.
It was once I did it to one table, I was like, I wanted to do this to all of my tables. It was 100%. Cool. Why does the EU have the option to pre-order while US doesn't? I assume you're talking about the new monitor. I think that's possibly because Gamescom is a European event, right? And so there may be just some special things happening in the European offices because they were kind of putting a lot of that on. But I can't necessarily speak to why certain offices do things and others don't. It's just sometimes how we do things. And there are all usually reasons behind it that I don't know and or can't say sometimes, if I do know, which isn't often. So, but when it comes out, it'll be out. Next up, speaking of which, 2 new monitors, both 27-inch 1440p OLED monitors. So this one is the ROG Swift PG27 AQDP. This is the world's first 1440p 480 hertz OLED gaming monitor. Lane,
that's fast.
When we bought our 200 hertz monitors, we thought we were hot stuff.
I still am hot stuff.
And now
Get out of
we are
here.
not hot stuff anymore.
I'm not the new hotness, but I'm still hot.
480 hertz that's a lot of hertz. Okay. So
That requires a lot of GPU and CPU.
it does, but I have played on one of our 480 hertz OLED, and it is nuts. If you can get a powerful PC in there, and remember, it's not just about necessarily peaking at 480. Like anywhere between the previous ceiling and this ceiling, you're making use of it. So 360 hertz was the previous ceiling. So if you hit 400 hertz, you're still making use of that 480 hertz display, right?
Oh no, 100%.
So this one uses a WOLED panel with an anti-glare surface, really excellent brightness and viewing angles. Plus, this is cool and kind of nerdy, a new subpixel layout that reduces that like kind of colored fringing on text that happens with some OLEDs. So if you're like a huge monitor nerd, you will appreciate that. But let's be honest, it's all about that sweet, sweet refresh rate. On the other hand, we've also got the ROG Strix OLED XG27 ACDNG. That is 1440p OLED.
That name isn't long enough.
It's a little bit longer, yeah. This one is 360 hertz. So still OLED, still 1440p, still 27 inches, but this one's 360 hertz instead of 480 hertz. And it uses a QD OLED panel with a semi-glossy finish instead of a WOLED panel with the anti-glare. So that may kind of influence your buying decision here too. If you are fine with 360 hertz and you really like the glossy or the semi-glossy finish, maybe this is the monitor for you instead. Both monitors come with our display widget center software. So Lane and I, using slightly older monitors here, again, not hot stuff. We have to adjust the monitor settings with the little like button on the back, right?
And if your little button breaks on the back, like mine did, you can't ever adjust settings ever again. You're stuck with what you have.
When Lane moved across the country, he did not pack his monitor properly, and this is what happens, guys.
I did it to myself.
So Display Widget Center allows you to adjust a lot of those settings just in software, right, on your PC with a mouse and keyboard without having to kind of fiddle with the monitor's knobs. These both come with our 3-year warranty for OLED monitors and OLED Care Plus. So you can buy with confidence that they're going to last a long time and be protected by us. Finally, Wi-Fi 7, baby. So we mentioned Wi-Fi 7 with the motherboard.
It's here.
Yeah. If you're going to get, I mean, I think, wasn't it already here? Maybe not.
I don't think it was ever, it was announced, but it was never.
But we haven't released it yet. So yeah. We, if you're going to get one of those new motherboards with Wi-Fi 7, right? Or we have a new laptop with Wi-Fi 7 as well. That new G16 has Wi-Fi 7 in it. You'll need a Wi-Fi 7 router to go with it. That top one, the ROG looking one, is the ROG Rapture GT-BE 19000. That is the top of the pack here. It is a tri-band Wi-Fi 7 router with blazing speeds, really cool design, its own Aura lighting and everything, cool little transparent window there. A bunch of different enhancements and features that I'm not going to dig super deep into, but if you guys click the link in the description, you could read more about it if you are a networking nerd. One of the features that it's got some cool like software feature, firmware features on it too. One of the things that I think is really cool about this, it has a feature called ROG Gaming Network. So when you create an SSID, like the network name for your house, right? Whitson's Wi-Fi, and then you connect all of your devices to it. And typically, if you want to prioritize or optimize traffic for your gaming devices, like a PC or a console, you have to go into the router settings and find the MAC address of that PC and set different stuff for it, right? What this allows you to do is create a separate SSID just for your gaming gear. So I have Whitson's regular Wi-Fi and Whitson's gaming Wi-Fi, and I'll connect my PC, my consoles, my Ally, whatever, to the gaming Wi-Fi, and it will just, that SSID is automatically set up to prioritize and optimize the traffic for devices connected to that network name. Without you having to tweak settings and assign stuff to yourself, which you can still do. Yeah, but really cool, right? Just to have that automatically configured, just connected all to the right network. Sorry, wife, you can't watch Netflix now. I'm gaming. Automatically
you might for a little bit, but I'm gaming, so you know.
If you can't spring for the ROG router or you don't need those gaming features, we also have an Asus Wi-Fi 7 router. This is the RT BE86U. I'm pointing over here. Oh, it is. Which way is it? It's this way. Okay. I wasn't sure if I was pointing in the right direction. So the Asus one doesn't have support for all of those gaming features, and it doesn't have support for the 6 gigahertz band like the ROG one does. So the ROG one is going to give you the best possible Wi-Fi 7 experience, but you're still going to get a lot of these speed and congestion busting benefits of Wi-Fi 7 through the Asus router. So it kind of just depends on how much you want to spend, what kind of features you want, stuff like that. And if you are not yet ready to upgrade to one of those motherboards, or you have other devices that you haven't upgraded yet, we have a Wi-Fi 7 USB tri-band receiver. So you can take that little dongle, plug it into your desktop PC, and you'll get Wi-Fi 7 access on it without having to upgrade the entire motherboard if you're not ready to do so yet. That's always like a handy little thing.
For sure.
Yeah. So, okay, sorry, I'm seeing more questions coming in chat, and I haven't been answering questions. I don't even know how to find out what Wi-Fi I use. You'll have to look up the model number of your router.
Yeah,
that's how you.
Or your device, whatever's slower. Your device might be slower. Your router might be.
That's
slower.
true. Yeah. You might have like a Wi-Fi 6 router, but some of your devices are only Wi-Fi 5, and so you have to look up. Like, does your phone have Wi-Fi 6 or 7? Does your laptop have Wi-Fi 6 or 7?
Fabulous 666. How did I break the button? So I have an ultra wide monitor, and I didn't pay attention to the fact that it weighs a lot, and you should probably put it down lengthwise instead of on its edge. So it just kind of sat for 2,700 miles in the back of a pickup truck, sitting on the screen, and the buttons didn't like that. Oops. Yep.
Yikes.
Oops is right.
Sorry. So I'm reading some. If you're having issues with an order, you'll want to contact customer support. I can't answer any questions about that for you, unfortunately, because I do not manage the back end of our sales system. There could be any number of reasons why an order is getting rejected or something like that.
And if you bought from the Asus eStore, they're usually really responsive if you have issues with an order.
Yeah, and one of the I mean, especially in certain regions like the US, you can call us on the phone. That's going to be faster than emailing. So I definitely recommend doing that. A lot of people will email, and it's you get an instant person if you call and go through that. Stupid question incoming. What is Asus Mesh? Our AI Mesh. This is a really cool feature. So you know what a mesh network is, I assume. If not, I will detail it quickly. That's having multiple like router-like devices in your house. You'll have one upstairs and one downstairs, and then they work together to create one giant network throughout the entire house, right? So we sell mesh networking systems. But what's cool is that if you have an Asus router with AI Mesh, and you upgrade to another Asus router, you could then turn each of those into mesh nodes in your house. You don't have to buy a dedicated mesh system. If you have multiple routers that support AI Mesh because you upgraded, you can just link them together and reuse your old router, which is a really cool feature that kind of helps those devices last a little bit longer, which I'm always a huge fan of. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, and mesh systems are great when you have like a big house or it's got brick walls or concrete. I can attest that it makes a huge difference. I have a two node system, and when I was on one, it was not that great.
Yep, it's my router could reach most of my house, but like at the ends of the house, it gets a little finicky. And if I'm outside, it's not so great. Having two nodes is just, it
felt like we were back in 1995. It was just, you couldn't really scroll pages smoothly, blah, blah, blah.
But honestly, my parents live in the Midwest, so they have like a big house and a big old house with really thick plaster walls that Wi-Fi just like does not penetrate well. So when they got a mesh network, oh boy, did that change everything. I don't know how, like growing up, we always just had these extenders that like didn't really work super well and all that kind of nonsense. Mesh is such a game changer. I recommend it very highly.
Yeah, it's pretty painless.
Okay. One final thing that we showed off. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. I gotta get to the right scene for this. You guys, I am so pumped for Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. But this is sick. We showed off
the collab that we didn't know we needed.
Dude, I knew we needed this. I knew it. This was like, when they first told me that we were going to do this, I was like, that is an amazing idea. Because Warhammer has such a distinct, like, aesthetic style, right? That making a graphics card with that like kind of design is just so freaking cool. So yeah, I'm hyped for this. This is a very, very limited release graphics card. I think we made like 20 of these or something. We're not going to be selling them. It's all going to be giveaways, I believe. So go to this site. I'm going to drop it in chat. I didn't wiggle. Sorry, I'm wiggling. There's too many chats to keep an eye on. I'm sorry. It's hard. So go to this page. In 18 hours, you will start to get opportunities to enter or giveaway for this card. If you are a Warhammer 40,000 fan, get in on it now. This is a partnership with AMD and Focus Entertainment. We also have a partnership with AMD in that if you buy specific AMD-based hardware from us, you can get a copy of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. And there was another card, Unknown 9 Awakening. So that bundle is available too if you are in the market for a new card. I would definitely check that out. I'm super hyped for Space Marine 2. And in fact, it's going to have multiplayer, so I have a feeling we're going to be playing it together on stream when it comes out, hopefully.
It looks great. I am not a Warhammer fan, but I've watched some of the early release gameplay, and it looks good.
Yeah, I am. It does. It does look good. I used to play the tabletop game, so I'm immediately in. You have me sold.
You sold me a Warhammer.
You sold me at Warhammer. Yep, basically. Why this? Oh, sorry. That was someone in spoiler alert. Who's spoiler alerting? Don't give spoilers in our chat.
He's not
Oh,
spoilering.
Says I haven't heard of Warhammer until this. You haven't heard of Warhammer? That's fair. Warhammer is funny. It's been around for a long time. It was like a tabletop war game where you paint the little miniatures and like you battle other people. But man, they've been going really hard on the video games for the past couple of years. We've gotten a lot. So we had some
it's like
RTS
a game a year.
games. Yeah, we used to have like I remember when Dawn of War first came out. I was playing the tabletop game and I was like, yes, a Warhammer video game. That's awesome. It's an RTS kind of like StarCraft or whatever, but in the Warhammer universe. And they had a bunch of expansions for it. But then the past few years, they've been coming out with all kinds of stuff. Like this is kind of a shooter/melee game. There's a game called Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, which is a boomer shooter, which is my favorite name for a genre ever. It's kind of like a revival of old games like Doom, stuff like that. Like games like Proteus, a medieval Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, or like new games kind of in that old school shooter style, really fast movement, stuff like that. Sometimes some pixel art. We've gotten, man, they've been giving some of them away for free lately. I just got Warhammer 40,000 Speed Freaks, I think was free on Steam or something. It might be in early access. I don't remember. I'm getting some of my free games mixed up, but there are just so many Warhammer 40,000 video games now, which is awesome. We played one. What was the club when we played like last year?
I don't remember the name, but I know
Vermintide
exactly
was fantasy, I think.
Yeah,
Dark Tide. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. Yeah, that was fun too. Cool. All right, let's move on to our ROG roundup. We've got some sales going on right now. If you cannot wait for some of these new products to come out, or if you are on a bit of a tighter budget and you want to buy something on sale, we got some options for you. First, Asus TUF Gaming F16, the 2024 version, is on sale right now for $200 off. This is the one with the 4060 laptop GPU. This is a good machine for $1099. But if you want a 4070 for a little bit more graphics power, the 2023 TUF Gaming laptops are also on sale right now for kind of similar prices. So I think they use a slightly older design, but got a 4070. So
that's a pretty solid gaming machine.
There's some decent gaming laptop deals. Nothing ROG on sale right now, but I wanted to throw this in here just because it is a good. It is. Yeah. Asian Venom's like there's like 40 different Warhammer games on Steam. Maybe they're trying to get 40,000 games on Steam. Like maybe that's
it's a long climb, so they have to do a couple a year, like they've been doing. It's a good pace.
Exactly. And then monitor-wise, if you want a 1440p glossy OLED gaming monitor, This one is only $699 right now. 240 hertz refresh rate, not 480, but 240 hertz is still quite fast, and otherwise kind of similar specs to the ones that we just announced. So for only $700, this is a good deal. This is a very nice monitor. We also have some desktops. We're also in the monitor section. The ROG Strix G13 is on sale, as well as many configurations of the G22, which, man, I love this desktop.
It looks great.
Dude, so you guys can't tell from like the picture here. Let me see if I can, if there are any like pictures of it in action. The G22 is a compact PC. So it looks like, in the pictures, here's like a good size comparison. This is like a normal size desktop, right? The G22 is really small. Really small. And you can get it with like so you can see that 4060, 4060 Ti, 4070 Super. You can get this tiny thing with a 4070 Super in it. That is sick. And something that they told me at CES. This one doesn't have the other pictures. So the volume of this is about the same as an Xbox Series X, which should tell you how small it is. Now, it looks smaller, actually, because it's like thinner and shorter than a Series X. It's just a little bit like deeper. But anything that can, any piece of like furniture you're going to put it in is going to fit it. So it's actually going to look smaller than a typical gaming console because of kind of how we laid out those dimensions. Man, for a living room like gaming setup, I don't game on consoles. I am strictly a PC gamer, but I do like to sit on the couch with a controller. So I do most of my gaming on like a living room PC back here. And this would be perfect for that if you don't want to build your own. Which when you get down to mini ITX, they can be kind of tough to build. I don't judge anyone for not wanting to build an ITX machine, though we do have some.
I've done it once, and I'm not in any hurry to do it ever again.
You gotta have small hands. When are you restocking the Zephyrus G? I can't tell you about restocks. If it's which Zephyrus G16 are you talking about? Are you talking about the this year's model or last year's model? Because the older a model is, the less likely it is to be restocked. If it's this year's model, there may be a restock coming. It may be that we only had a limited number of those because we didn't anticipate as many sales on that. So I couldn't tell you. But we're also getting close to CES here, where new things may be announced. Spoiler alert. Am I supposed to say that? ROG Raikiri and ROG Raikiri Pro are on sale. These are our game controllers, like I said. Match one of these with that G22 and you got a sweet living room gaming setup. We've also got ROG travel case, ROG Ally travel case for $30. This is my preferred travel case for the original Ally. Nothing else on the market is quite this slim. And I know a lot of other people prefer like hard cases or want to travel with the charger and stuff like that. I went out and bought this on day one because I just wanted something that was going to protect it in my bag. And I wanted as slim a case as possible. No other cases are this slim. It's not necessarily for everyone, but for me, it was the only option. I wish more, like, no third parties do cases like that. They're all making these like bigger bags. Kind of weird. You're trying to buy it for back to school. Ew, sorry about that. I can't speak to stock or if something is going to be restocked, but keep an eye out. You'll be able to find it, or you may have to buy a different config. There is no travel case for the Raikiri, Paolo. Sorry, that'd be cool though. But it is basically the same size and shape as an Xbox controller, so if you want a travel case for the controller, something that fits an Xbox controller would probably fit that pretty well too, as long as it wasn't like perfectly molded for one of like the Series X. Like the Raikiri is a very similar shape, but it's not exactly perfect, especially because it's got those back buttons on the back and some stuff like that. So, but you may be able to find a travel case for it if you want one. It's not a reskinned Xbox controller, so hold on, let me grab it for you. So it is like a licensed Xbox controller, right? It's got an Xbox button there. We partnered with Microsoft, so it is completely compatible with Xboxes if you want that. But the whole point of it is that it has other features, right? So it has extra features compared to a typical Xbox controller. First of all, it has this disc D-pad that I just love. I love the Series X D-pad, but this one I don't know, for some reason I really dig it. Obviously it's got some RGB lighting. This has a little OLED screen on the top. It's off right now, but you can put on like different animations and stuff like that on it. But the real draw for the Raikiri for me are the functional changes. So you've got trigger stops on the back, so you can make them really like, what do you call these, short throw triggers? for like shooters and things like that. And then you can switch it back to analog mode for racing. And then it's got 4 back buttons. The regular Raikiri has 2 back buttons. I like back buttons. I have a problem with some games that want me to be like switching between the shoulder buttons and the triggers fast. Like my fingers just do not have that kind of dexterity. So I'll often remap the shoulder buttons to 2 of the back buttons, and then I don't have to move my hands at all, and I can trigger those buttons that way. You can also trigger them to like custom macros or something like that. So that's kind of the idea behind the Raikiri controller, is having some of those extra features on there. And then obviously it comes with a dongle. The Pro is wireless. The regular Raikiri is wired. It's got a dongle that you can put on whatever PC you want. All right. Check-in. I'm strictly a PC gamer. Strictly a PC gamer. That's nice.
Strictly.
Nice. Except I actually don't have any Strix. I don't have any Strix gear. Oh no, my power supply is Strix. But yeah, that's it. My board is a Crosshair or a Crosshair? Yeah, Crosshair Dark Hero. I use a Zephyrus as my laptop. And I have a tough gaming graphics card because Jake stole the Strix from me.
True.
Low dexterity build. Yeah, basically. Any more info on BIOS updates for 13th and 14th gen CPUs? I don't have like release date info for those. I believe some of them are out, or at least out in beta, so check for your board. But as far as I know, we are releasing BIOS updates for those boards, so keep an eye out for those. Okay, oh hey, there's my power supply. Some graphics cards and power supplies on light sale here. If you're looking for a graphics card, especially like these Asus dual graphics cards, again, good for mini ITX machine. There's some savings there, $10, $50 here. Also, a lot of our we just talked about Intel motherboards. So the Z790 motherboards, a lot of these are on sale right now. So if you are building a new machine and you want to get you don't necessarily want to build next gen, you want to get a deal on kind of current last gen stuff. Got some small sales on some of these motherboards too, and some of our other CPU coolers as well, including I think the Ryujin was up there. No, it's the ProArt.
ProArt 420.
Ooh, I kind of forgot there was a ProArt cooler.
They look great,
dude. All the ProArt stuff looks really good. It's got just this really clean look, and I love the like black and gold. I can't zoom in on this, but like a lot of it has this kind of black and gold color scheme that is just slick. We saw, when we were in Taiwan, we saw they had a ProArt PC build, like a full ProArt build there that like we were just drooling over.
Yeah, no, it's extra clean. Extra clean.
I mean, I know I'm supposed to like, this is an ROG show and my job is to sell ROG products, but man, if you're more of a fan of like that really clean aesthetic, you don't necessarily want the RGB or some of the more like kind of ROG styling, the ProArt stuff is a great alternative because it looks super, super slick.
The ProArt 40 series graphics cards are also really, really thin. They're some of the smallest dimension 40 series. So if you're space limited, that could be a good option.
Yeah, they were designed that way because a lot of like creators, right, fill up their other PCI slots with stuff. So they don't just need a graphics card. They might need some other stuff in those PCI slots. And so they kind of made the graphics card slimmer to leave room for those other PCI slots to be. I will say, I definitely like my giant graphics card because it's so quiet. Like the TUF 4090, especially if you turn down that power limit a little bit, dude, the heatsink is so big that the fans don't need to spin as much. Like that's the benefit of having a giant card. So I, for one, am all for this new trend of enormous graphics cards. But if you're not, like Lane said, the ProArt series is there for you. Do the antenna come off of Asus routers? You mean, can you detach them? Like, can you unscrew them? I believe so, but I'm not sure. The Asus routers, they can.
I've never had to assemble one that had antenna.
Yeah, you know what? I've never. Oh, this is Asus, not ROG. But like, so okay. Here are some of these on sale. So here's the AXE 11350. It's possible that the antenna don't come off on these ones because they're so like integral to the design of the thing. But some of the Asus ones they may come off of. So I am not sure. Well, a good way to find out if a router you're looking at has that feature would be to try to find an unboxing video of it.
True. True. Find an unboxing video.
I feel like people like have kind of hated on unboxing videos in the past, but man, I use them for so much stuff. It is so useful for seeing like what accessories come with it, things like that, what's detachable. I have also, this is great. So if you buy a product and you need to return it, which is something that I had to do often as someone who is reviewing products, watch an unboxing video in reverse.
That's how I packed the monitor back up in its box before I went across the country. I watched an unboxing video.
But clearly you did a bad job of it.
Oh no, I did a great job. I just put it up on its edge instead of the way it should have been shipped.
So yeah, unboxing video is useful for those kinds of things. But if you need something that has detachable antenna, some of these Asus ones might fit the bill. I know my Asus router has detachable antenna, but mine is pretty old at this point. It's about time for me to upgrade. Yeah, see this, you can see that these I believe unscrew. It looks like these yep, I can see the little unscrewy thing there. So that's something to consider. Yeah, unboxing is good to see the dimensions and size too. You can obviously like look up dimensions and kind of measure it out, but just seeing it, like, you know, it's like the whole banana for scale thing, right? Just seeing it next to someone's computer, hands, desk, like helps you kind of give it a sense of scale. Okay, anyway, last thing, some accessories on sale. Keras 2 Ace on sale for $9.01 off. That's a very specific discount, but I'm into it.
They really wanted it to be $149.99.
Impact 3 wireless. This one's cool because it uses a regular battery, like a AA battery or AAA battery, which is nice if you like don't want to have to. The one thing, I hate charging my mouse because then I have to like get out a cable, and I don't have a cable that's like the right size. And I don't have to charge it that often.
First world problem.
It is.
Man.
I don't have to do it that often.
I don't want to connect my USB-C cable to my mouse. That's too many steps.
It is. I would love this Strix Impact really appeals to me because when it runs out of battery, you just pop in a new one. And again, wanting to be a good steward of electronic waste thingies, I do have rechargeable AA's. So what I would do is I would just pop in a rechargeable AA, recharge the other one while I'm using it, and then swap them out. Like that's what I used to do with my Xbox controllers and stuff.
Yeah,
it's a way to do it. Falchion low profile. We talked about that today. That's on sale. Strix Scope 2. That's the regular full-size one, not the Lane one. Where's the Lane one? Is it on here? No, it's not. But the Azoth is. That's my keyboard. $40 off. That's a good price for my favorite keyboard ever. And the Gladius 3 wireless aim point. That's the mouse I'm using. Also my favorite mouse. So you could buy my exact battle station right here on sale.
That's a lot of peripherals on sale.
Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah. And plus the right keyboard. Oh, here's Lane's keyboard. It is. I just had to scroll down more. The Strix Scope 296 wireless.
I did see that price, and I was a little sad because I bought it on release day, and now it's much cheaper.
But you've had the joy of using it all that time.
It's true. I've loved it.
Yeah, a lot of peripherals on sale today. The Harp, Ace AimLab, the Keras, like literally, like all of our peripherals almost are on sale right now. Varying levels of discount, but still, hey, I'll take it. Last thing I want to call out before we sign off, guys, some sales at Games Planet as well. Lane, I know this is your favorite.
I wish I could play that game again for the first time without knowing the story. It's so good. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, buy it. Just don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
And if you log in with your ROG account, you will get a little bit of an extra discount on top of the sales prices, guys. So definitely check that out. Some other stuff here that I saw. There are a bunch of like Disney-owned games on sale. So Indiana Jones, which was announced at Gamescom, the new Indiana Jones game. I grew up Fate of Atlantis when I was a kid. This was like my favorite game. I played this game like 30 times. It's one of those old point-and-click adventure games from like the DOS days. That was my jam. Really excited to see another Indiana Jones game come out. But they got all
Knights
these
of
ones
the
on
Old
sale.
Republic on steep discount.
$2.26 for one of the best games ever. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. So, and it just keeps going. Oh, the Dig. That was another one I played when I was a kid.
The Dig is great.
You played the Dig too?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't feel like I've never met anyone else that played the Dig.
My dad was into gaming a lot back then, so he did Monkey Island, Myst, Riven, Dig.
My dad was super into all those. That's crazy. That's really funny. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. And then there was another one that I knew was going to appeal to you, Lane. Here we go. Remnant 2 and all its DLC
Nice.
for a really good price. 25
Remnant 2
bucks for
is
Remnant 2? That seems kind of crazy.
Remnant 2 is a great game. I feel like it kind of made its own little genre,
Yeah.
little Dark Souls gun with guns genre. It's excellent.
Yeah, yeah. And then I had to call out Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner and Ghost Runner 2. I have not played Ghost Runner 2 yet, but at this price, I'm going to have to buy it. Ghost Runner is so freaking fun, you guys. It is... I don't even know how to describe it. It's super fast paced. You die like 50 times in every like encounter, but it's like all about trying to... It's like a speedrunner's dream, right? You're trying to like...
Maximize.
your path around the area to like kill each guy with your sword without getting shot. And so you kind of like can do these like kind of slow motion matrixy moves. It's freaking awesome. I love this game so much. Definitely check it out. Oh, and Death Stranding too is also on sale. Death Stranding and the director's cut upgrade. Ooh, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I didn't see this one earlier. If you're a fan of Metroidvanias, that one's great. Made by the original creator of the Metroidvania Castlevanias. I played this one recently, and it is quite good. So yeah, a lot of cool games on sale right now. Remember to log in with your ROG account to get an extra discount. And remember to, hey, Elite code right down there. Oh, it just disappeared. You'll have to wait another few seconds for it to come by. Go plug in that Elite code and you can get some points towards other games or other cool prizes and stuff on our site. Oh yes, thank you, Fi Linux. I meant to mention Callisto Protocol is free on Epic right now. So yeah, if you guys have, I have not played it, but I was
like to be scared.
It's still listed full price, and today it's free. So check it out. Is it like a horror thing? Maybe I don't.
I'm pretty sure Callisto Protocol is like the Alien Isolation games where things just jump out at you.
Dude, Alien Isolation was sweet though. Like I'm like, this is like the tech nerd inside me, but the audio design of that game was great. It made you it felt like Alien, right? Like it felt like the movie Alien, where it was just like silent. Every little tiny sound. And I played it on a Dolby Atmos system, which was really cool. Every tiny little sound would just like scare the ever living crap out of you because you didn't know when the xenomorph was gonna jump out.
No, I mean definitely from an engineering perspective, game design perspective, hats off. But like that sounds like nightmare fuel for me. I can't do that.
It is. Have you seen the trailer for the new Alien movie? Do you
Apparently,
like the Alien
amazing.
movies?
I do. I can handle the movie. I can't like because that's 2.5 hours. I can't be in that atmosphere.
Can't handle
for
like 30 hours of it.
15 hours. Yeah.
I love the first two Alien movies. And when I saw the trailer for this one, my wife and I would see Deadpool and Wolverine, and they had the trailer. My wife was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "This looks like if you made Alien today, this is what it'd be." And apparently, the reviews are saying that's basically what it is, which is awesome.
The reviews are epic for it, so I want to go see it.
Yeah,
I still need to see Deadpool versus Wolverine. I think I'm gonna do that this week.
You should. I won't spoil anything, but I'll tell you this: I looked up what should I watch before seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, and someone was like, I don't know, everything made since 1994. So
all of Marvel content,
everything, nothing is safe from like being made fun of. Did we get a new falchion? I missed the first half of the stream. Yes, we did. But we're about to end the stream, so then you can go back on Twitch and YouTube and watch the full stream. Usually, guys, we cut out just the main topic of a stream. Today is special. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, this is what a full stream is like. Usually, we cut out just the main topic to make it easier for people to search for what we're talking about. But sometimes when we're just having a chill chat and stream like this, we'll leave the whole thing up so you guys kind of see what everything else looks like. So, yeah. Guys, thanks for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of the Gamescom announcements. If there are still Gamescom announcements, it's Thursday. Maybe it's over now. But keep an eye out. A lot of these products are going to be coming to shelves soon. And I am so excited. We'll be getting our hands on some of them, at least, for ROG Pulse. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch if you guys want to see us do some unboxings or demos and stuff like that with some of these new products in a week or two. Soon. Very soon. This is a blank box. You don't know what's in it, but it's the ROG Azoth Extreme. That is the new keyboard we announced at Computex, and it is going to be awesome. I got to play with it a little bit at Computex, but I've got a unit here so I can show it all off to you guys. I think we're going to do that next week, barring any other like last minute news or anything like that. That is what we'll be featuring next week. So again, subscribe, follow. Thanks you guys for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.